Hello folks, welcome to end-to-end testing of AngularJS based Office 365 apps using Protractor. In the last session, we built an uh, Office 365 SharePoint hosted app using AngularJS. In this session, we are going to see how to test the same app using Protractor. To recap, this is a simple AngularJS app which reads and writes data to a list in the host site collection. To do end-to-end using Protractor, you make sure you have all the record setup installed in your local development machine. Install Node.js server and install Node.js templates on Visual Studio. Once you have this setup ready, go to Visual Studio and create a new project. Create a blank Node.js console application. This will create a basic Node.js project to your solution. Now open command prompt for Node.js and navigate to the uh, project folder. Now in, uh, get all the packages from the internet and add it to your project location. So for Node.js we have something called npm install. This npm install is similar to NuGet. If you just run this command from the Node.js command prompt, this will pull all the files from the respective location and add it to your project. So first I am installing Protractor. This will take a minute to download and store it to the project folder. Here we are installing uh, we are not installing the latest version, rather than we are installing 1.3.1. The latest version of Protractor have some issues with running IE, so I am just using the 1.3.1 version. Now run WebDriver Manager update and specific to IE to update the Selenium WebDrivers. Again, this will take few minutes to install. Sometimes the process might fail, so you can go and delete all the files and run it again. Okay, now we all the files are downloaded. Sometimes I notice the IE driver is too slow in Windows 64 machines. So uh, Protractor development team recommended to use 32-bit driver instead of 64-bit. So I'm going to get the 32-bit driver from this for this particular version and replace it with the 64-bit driver. Now install a screenshot reporter to get the screenshot of each and every test case. Once this is complete, we are all set with the installation. Now going back to the project, we have all the required files installed here. Now we can see the example file here. If you go to Protractor example, we can see three files. Uh, conf.js, this is the configuration file, and example spec.js, this is the original specification file. So if you open this, we can see some of the configuration settings which I explained in the last session. The browser capabilities, Chrome, and we need to specify where the test cases are there. The test cases are in the example spec.js, and this is specific for running Chrome driver. So we have specific settings for this. Chrome only, set Chrome only to true and give the location of the Chrome driver, and again the same test case file. So the test case file is pretty simple. It is going to open angularjs.org. This is a site which is completely in AngularJS, of course, and it is going to send set few values and get the results out of it and run this for you. Now, now, now to run this, just open the Node.js command prompt and go to from the bin folder. So node modules dot bin protractor and give the example configuration file. Node modules protractor example, and I'm going to launch the Chrome only configuration. So this will launch a Chrome driver immediately and it will test these results. So this goes to AngularJS site. Now it is going to test the name Julie and give the result. So 3 tests, 5 assertions, 0 failure. And all these things are stored in the stored as a screenshot. So I think the example configuration is not configured with screenshot capabilities, but we are going to see it in our demo. Now I'm going to drop few files for testing our Office 365 Angular app. So I dropped 3 files. This is going to launch Office 365 site and log in using my username and password and do some test check such as testing number of items, what is the first name, last name, those kind of things. And also I have 2 configuration files, one for running tests in Internet Explorer and other is for running Chrome and Firefox. Running Internet Explorer is little different. You need to run the Selenium server explicitly before executing the test cases. But in case of Chrome and Firefox, it just launches the server by itself. So this is the configuration setting for testing Chrome and Firefox browsers. In the first line, we added a Protractor HTML screenshot reporter to take screenshots of each test case. And this is a simple JavaScript function to add date and time to the test cases. And this multi capabilities I'm going to test both the servers parallelly. The IE configuration looks like this. You need to provide the Selenium address and you need to run the IE driver explicitly to execute this. Let us start with IE testing. I'm going to launch the IE driver. Now the driver is listening to port 5555. That is the address uh, that is the address which we are using here. Now go back to the Node.js command prompt and run node modules.bin protractor ie configuration.js. This will launch the browser immediately and it starts executing the test cases. We can see the test results here. It adds an item. That's it. So it executed 5 tests and 3 of which are failed. So to see the failed test results, we can just go to the screenshots folder and Internet Explorer and open the report.html. So this will create an HTML document on the fly with all the test cases. So these are the test cases and the results. We can also see the screenshots of the failed test results here, and also the exception informations and the result summary here. Now we tested for Internet Explorer. As I said, we don't need to have the IE driver running for executing the test in Chrome and Firefox. So I'm going to close this. Now open the Node.js command prompt again and run the configuration for Chrome and Firefox. So this will launch 2 instances of WebDriver, each for Chrome and Firefox. Oh, and it failed. I think there is something wrong with the configuration file. So I'm going to open this. So everything looks alright for me. Now let me run the test again. So this launches both the browsers, both IE and Chrome, and executes the test cases parallelly. So this shows the test cases results here, and all the reports are stored here. So one folder for Chrome and other for Firefox. This way we can do end-to-end testing using Protractor in quick frame of time. I'm going to upload all the source code to the GitHub so that you can navigate to it and see it in action. Thank you for listening. Hope this is useful for you.